What this all ends up being once it's prepared and weighed out evenly is going to be about 29 carbs, about 10 fat, 9.7 fat technically, and 50.7 protein. So this is what I like to do when I make my meals. I tend to make one big dish and have it throughout the day, and what I make is good enough to kind of allow me to hit my numbers, but it's big enough so that I can eat it throughout the day. I won't spend my whole day planning 3 or 4 separate meals. I'll plan one big meal and just make it fit my numbers. Is it the right way to do things? No, because it can get a little boring. You've eaten, spaghetti the third time in a day. It's pretty heavy food, but it's kind of like what I do because for me it saves time. That's just how I do things. So this is pretty much my meal plan for the day. This is not all for me. Don't worry, I'm not eating this whole damn thing. What I got here is about 528 grams of this meat sauce from Regano. I got about 281 grams of liquid egg white. I use this to supplement water when I make my pasta. It's a good way to kind of add extra protein to your pasta. It also makes the pasta a little bit denser, which is really good. I like that al dente feel to it. 281 grams of chicken, which is for everybody. 1,281 grams of chicken, excuse me. Entire bag of spinach, and because a part of me will always still be a fatty, I'm adding bacon. Now I've logged this entire thing in. Basically what this is going to be is serving 10 servings. Once I'm done making the entire dish, I'm going to weigh the entire thing out, which would give me a pretty accurate idea of what each serving has. So basically I added my pasta into my food process, well, my KitchenAid, locked it in place, set it up to mix. And then I'll basically slowly add. Now the trick to making pasta is you don't want to add too much water. You just want to add, well in this case, too much liquid. You want to add enough till it starts to clump up, as you see there. And then once it's starting to clump up, I replaced my hook with my dough hook, and now I'm just sort of letting it wind up a little bit. I have a pretty good dough in here. I'm going to let this knead for a little bit. That's one of the cool things about this. It allows me to do other things while this is kneading. I'll probably give it about maybe 5 or 6 minutes like this. While this is happening, I'm going to probably be preparing my chicken. Obviously, you got to wash your hands afterwards. So I've already made a lot of pasta already, but I am going to record the latest one, which is technically my last one. Now, don't let anybody fool you. Making pasta is a dirty job, just letting you know. Got my last little bit of pasta here. Adding a little bit of flour on it so that way it doesn't stick to the machine. Now this isn't the right attachment. This is. Now you can make pasta with a regular crank machine too. I just use this. I will tell you that when you are making pasta, you always need to have a little bit of flour set aside for coating the dough so that it doesn't stick to the machine. Otherwise it gets even more difficult. What I will tell you is if you are going to weigh out the flour, which you definitely want to, take about maybe 10-15% of that, maybe 2 tablespoons if possible, or a tablespoon or a teaspoon, and set it aside so you can pinch and put a little bit of flour in there just to coat it so that it doesn't stick to the machine. That way you're not adding flour to the recipe, you're technically subtracting if you don't use all the flour to the recipe. This ain't easy with one hand, bear with me. Make sure you have the settings set to the widest first. You're going to put it through a couple times. Catch that bottom. And then once you put it down, you're going to put a little sprinkle of flour on it. Literally just a pinch. You're not doing too much. You just want to smooth over it. Make sure that it has a little coating of flour. Just enough flour on the floor, on the base already to. And then of course you want to put it once or twice over one, and then you're going to gradually walk it down. Until you get down to whatever thickness you want. I'm a fan of 4. I don't go much thinner than 4, to be honest with you. I rarely ever go thinner than 4. For me it's the easiest to handle. Still has that pasta feel to it. Now, what some people will do is they will fold the pasta in half and put it through, which creates a nice little edge, generally straighter. I'm not doing that for the last one. I've been doing that already the whole time. I'll give you an example of what I mean. Basically, they do that. They go through and they put it through so that it has a flat edge. Like so. That was 2. Now we're doing 3. Like I said before, a little bit of, not even a pinch. Whatever a pinch is, half a pinch. See, it's getting a lot longer now, obviously. I have one more to do and then I have to cut it. I'll save you the trouble of having to watch that fourth and final run through for the length. Alright, so I've basically got it a little bit more, just a pinch of flour. Like I said, you don't want it to catch, because when it catches it gets a little messy. It's still going to catch a little bit depending on how you've made it. I cut it in half because it makes it easier to cut, and this is basically the thickness that I do, the fettuccine. Basically, I'm just going to feed it through. I'm going to catch it on the other side with my little tool, which, by the way, I love. This is one of the reasons why I like this tool so much. And there you have it. Enough pasta for 10 servings. Well, not really, but that's how it is. So basically, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Each of these is 1.3 servings, basically. That is a serving of pasta, 1.3. A little scary, but what we did here was I weighed all the food out. This is 1,837 grams, this is 991 grams. Add them together, divide it by 10, and that's basically what I have for a serving size.